Good day, everyone. My name is AYORINDE KOLAWOLE, and I want to welcome you to the maiden edition of this our program, Healthy Nation. In this program, we'll be talking on some diseases that affect us, and we are not aware of these diseases, and some steps we need to take, prevention, the symptoms we'll see in all these diseases, and the lifestyle we can use to make sure we manage these diseases if we are affected. And today we are going to talk on tuberculosis. The reason we are discussing this, Tuesday this week, which was the 24th day of the month of March, is tagged the World Tuberculosis Day, and that is why we want to discuss on these diseases. We want to talk on symptoms, signs, and things we can do to prevent these diseases. And that is why the topic today is tuberculosis and what you need to know. What is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis is commonly called TB, which is an infectious disease caused by the bacterium known as Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It mainly affects the lungs, which is being called the pulmonary TB. And it also can affect some parts of the body, such as the brain, the spine, and the kidneys. And TB can spread through the air when a person coughs, when that person sneezes, when he talks, when he sings. When someone nearby the person singing, talking, or coughing or sneezing inhales these tiny droplets, such a person becomes infected. I mean, somebody who is having tuberculosis, when he talks, when he sings, when he sneezes, some droplets that come out. If the person that is beside that person inhales such droplets, he can be infected with that diseases. And we need to note that TB cannot be contacted through these means. Number one, it cannot be infected, it cannot be contacted through handshake, through sharing of foods, or touching surfaces. Sometimes some people say somebody who is having TB, if he sits in a place you cannot sleep, no, it cannot affect you. So also we want to talk about symptoms and signs that can be seen when somebody is having a TB. You can watch out for these common symptoms. There are some common symptoms that we need to look at. One, persistent cough lasting for more than 2 weeks. If you see someone that is coughing, and the coughing persists for like 2 weeks and more, it's a sign of TB. Then, coughing out blood. When somebody is coughing and you see blood in the sputum or whatever is being spit out, is a sign. Then, chest pain. Also, weight loss is a sign. Then, when you sleep in the night and you sweat excessively in the night, it is a sign. So also we can talk of fever. When somebody is having fever, sometimes somebody may think it's as a result of a mosquito or whatever. Tuberculosis too is a fever too is a symptoms of tuberculosis. And lastly, fatigue. When you get tired easily, it's a symptoms. If you notice this sign, the best thing you need to do is to visit a health facility for immediate attention. Also, we have types of tuberculosis. Types of tuberculosis, we have the latent and the active. The latent tuberculosis is a situation whereby the bacteria, they are in the body, but they are inactive. There could be no symptoms, and in this situation, it cannot be contagious. You cannot contact it in this kind of situation. And we have the other one, which is active TB. Active TB is a situation whereby the bacteria are active and they can cause illness and can spread to others. Then, who are those people who are at higher risk of TB? Those people who are vulnerable to have TB, they include individuals with weak immune systems. Somebody whose immune system is so weak, he can be affected with TB. People living with HIV/AIDS. You see, some people who are living with HIV/AIDS are at the high risk of contacting tuberculosis. People who are malnourished, who are not eating a balanced diet, who are not eating well, they could be affected. Some people who are smokers, people who smoke, smokers can be affected, and people living in an overcrowded conditions, they can be affected. TB and HIV, you see, TB and HIV is a very dangerous combination. TB is one of the leading causes of death among people living with HIV. This is because HIV weakens the immune system and making it easier for TB infection to develop into active disease. So people who are living with HIV, they are prone to be affected with TB, and this is very dangerous. Then how to diagnose TB? TB can be diagnosed through sputum test. If you want to get somebody who has TB, you can test it through their sputum, testing their sputum. Then we can do it through chest x-ray of the chest. Also, we can do it through laboratory test. But it is very, very good for early diagnosis because it can save lives and it will prevent the spread of TB. The question that comes up now is that, is TB curable? Yes, TB is curable and treatable. Treatment of TB involves taking antibiotics for at least 6 months without interruption. You see, continuous taking of antibiotics. And common TB medications that can be taken for TB is one, isoniazid. It's very, very good for it, as well as rifampicin. You can take it. It is very important that stopping treatment early can lead to drug-resistant TB. For instance, if you are taking the drugs, you have to take your drug and you stop it at a certain period of time. You stop it and you come again to it, may make it to be drug resistant, that it will even make it harder and more expensive to treat later in life. Let's say, for instance, you have started taking drugs for TB and you got to a point and you stop. It will get to a point that this TB will resist drug and it will even cost you more to even take care of that disease. Now, I want to talk about prevention of TB. How do we prevent TB? You can protect yourself and others, number one, by covering your mouth when coughing or sneezing. If even sometimes people may be yawning or coughing or sneezing, they just do it through outside. There are droplets that will come out. If anybody around inhales it, it may spread the disease. Number two, ensuring good ventilation at home. See, in your house, make sure you have where free air can flow in. Get a good ventilation at home. Avoiding overcrowded spaces. Where you have people that are jam-packed into, you have to avoid it. You see, you know, during the coronavirus, we were told to give ourselves spaces. Such a kind of thing should happen so as to prevent TB. Then you can get tested early if you have symptoms. The moment you notice you are feeling some things that relate to it, go for the test so that you can be able to know what the kind of disease you are having, so that you'll be able to treat yourself. And also, in Nigeria, TB in Nigeria, we need awareness. That is, we need awareness that will make us in Nigeria to be able to take care of TB, because Nigeria is one of the countries with a high burden of tuberculosis. Many cases go undetected due to lack of awareness, stigma, and late hospital visits. Some people will say they will not want to, because they lack the awareness. They don't know well, some people may be having cough. Instead of them to go for checkup and treat their tuberculosis, rather than doing that, they will be taking some drugs or self-medications, which can lead to a death or a serious complication. Finally, we have these messages for us that TB is an airborne disease, but it's preventable. We need to take it. This is a take-home hint that it is airborne and it is preventable. So if we take the accurate and adequate prevention exercise, we make sure we prevent it. Number 2, TB is curable if treated early. If the moment we detect it earlier and we start the treatment, it is curable. Also, we do not ignore persistent cough. When you see that somebody is coughing persistently, we do not ignore it. We have to quickly take step to make sure we check what is really happening. And the moment we detect, we should seek medical help promptly. We should go to a nearby medical center to take appropriate measure. In conclusion, I want to tell us that TB is preventable and is treatable. Also, is curable. Early detection saves lives. If you cough for more than 2 weeks, don't assume it could be TB. Don't assume. Don't say, we call lásán or it's just ordinary cough. No, it could be TB. Visit the nearest health center and seek for a treatment. And today, we'll be rounding off this program. Today, by the grace of God, we'll be coming next week with another the topic or another topic. As we want to round off, I remain your very good friend, Ayorinde Kolawole. Thank you and God bless you. Bye-bye.